अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन, आई होप you're all well. थोड़ा सा आप लोगों को आज आने में मसला हुआ होगा बिकॉज ऑफ द रोड्स, बट आई एम वेरी ग्लैड कि आप लोग सब यहाँ पे आए हैं. टुडे हमारा सेशन है आर्ट, एस्ट्रोनॉमी एंड हीलिंग, एंड आवर गेस्ट विल बी रयान खान who will be joining us online. He is currently based in France. मैं रयान से मिली थी 2020 में पहली मरतबा when I was just 15 years old. It's been a long time. It's been 6 years since then. Or is Doran, like where we met was basically the International Dark Sky Association, which is an international body जिसका main मकसद ही ये है कि वो जो light pollution है across the world उसको monitor करे और उसके against काम करे. Rayan Khan is also the director and CEO of Cosmic Tribe. Like when we met, that at that time we were both just international dark sky advocates. But since then, he has gone on to become the dark sky ambassador of Pakistan, among many other things. I will pass the mic to him for his introduction. Rayan, can you please introduce yourself and your?
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Thank you so much, Zainab. Yes, I would like to tell more about myself. Yes, when we met in 2020, काफी लंबा टाइम हो गया इस बात को, लेकिन the way we started working on and the way we were working on the subject itself, how it gets important worldwide, I would like to highlight those things. First, I would like to share about my personal background, how I started, where I started. My background is from two different domains, I would say. First, I studied aerospace. I did my aerospace apprenticeship, my engineering in B1 licensing in aviation. And I work on the aircraft, and later on I completed my master's degree in astrophysics. So मेरा जो अपना एक नज़रिया था वो यही था कि आसमान की तरफ देखना, लेकिन जो इंटरनली एक जो अपनी फीलिंग होती है कि उसको किस तरह से एक्सप्रेस किया जाए. I always relaxed myself by doing some painting, some artwork, and I always involve art in all my practices, even in the work that I'm going to share today. Later on, I started my organization with the name of Cosmic Tribe, which is working on STEM educational programs related to space science and astronomy in Pakistan, and doing activities, hands-on activities with kids. We do a lot of activities with kids in Karachi specifically, at TDF Magnificent Science Center, जहाँ पे ज़ैनब ने हमारे साथ मिलकर काफ़ी सारी एक्टिविटीज़ की हैं, काम किया है with Cosmic Tribe, and those are the things that actually highlighted the portfolio of Cosmic Tribe itself. Later, other than this, I'm associated with Dark Sky International as a delegate representing Pakistan. Later on, we started a chapter. I would really like कि पाकिस्तान का जो चैप्टर है उसको मज़ीद ग्रो किया जाए. अभी it's still in the beginning phase of developing. And I also received International Dark Sky Award in 2022. I'm associated with IAU, International Astronomical Union, as a National Astronomy Education Coordinator, and also International Association of Astronomical Art. That is also I'm going to talk about what is IAAA. So for this week, we are celebrating International Dark Sky Week. International Dark Sky Week is a global celebration that is happening this week from 13th April to 20th April. इसमें क्या हो रहा है, क्या एक्टिविटीज हो रही हैं, इसके बारे में ज़ैनब भी बताएंगी, क्योंकि ज़ैनब इस डार्क स्काई से एफिलिएटेड भी हैं और डार्क स्काई से शी इज़ एन एडवोकेट एज वेल. सो आई वुड हैंड ओवर टू ज़ैनब.
Right, thank you. Yes, मैं इस वक्त एक इंटरनेशनल डार्क स्काई एडवोकेट हूँ फॉर द इंटरनेशनल डार्क स्काई एसोसिएशन. इसका बहुत फैंसी सा टाइटल है, लेकिन इसका मतलब सिर्फ ये है कि मैं फिरती हूँ डिफरेंट ऑफिस के दरमियान और लोगों को कन्विंस करती हूँ कि प्लीज़ लाइट्स ऑफ कर दें, लाइट्स ऑफ कर दें. बेसिकली द पर्पज़ ऑफ दिस वीक इज़ अप्रैल, जैसे कि शायद आप लोगों को पता हो, ग्लोबल एस्ट्रोनॉमी मंथ कहलाता है. तो इसमें 13th to 20th अप्रैल, जैसे रैन ने बोला, इज़ द इंटरनेशनल डार्क स्काई वीक. ये एक इवेंट है जो ऑलमोस्ट 20 ईयर्स से हर साल हो रहा है, और इसका मेन मकसद यही होता है कि इट्स अ वीक डेजिग्नेटेड जस्ट फॉर लाइट पोल्यूशन, जिसमें पूरी दुनिया में इवेंट्स कराए जाते हैं टू रेज अवेयरनेस अबाउट लाइट पोल्यूशन। लोगों को पता चले कि लाइट पोल्यूशन क्या है, इसके क्या नुकसानात हैं, और अगर हम इसके ख़िलाफ़ सीरियस एक्शन लें तो हमें क्या फ़ायदा हो सकता है। सम हाइलाइट्स जो इस वीक में करवाई जाती हैं, एक है द डार्क स्काई प्लेज, विच इज़ बेसिकली डार्क स्काई वीक में हर साल एक प्लेज लिया जाता है जिसमें लोग साइन करते हैं एक पिटिशन को, और वो अपनी लोकल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को वो लेटर्स लिख के भेजते हैं बेसिकली लाइट पोल्यूशन के ख़िलाफ़ बात करते हुए, जिसके अभी तक अक्रॉस द ईयर्स 200,000 प्लस सिग्नेचर्स हो चुके हैं। इसके अलावा ग्लोब एट नाइट प्रोग्राम भी है जो कि पिछले तकरीबन 20 साल से इंटरनेशनल डार्क स्काई वीक में हर साल हो रहा है, जिसमें ऑल अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड जो लोग हैं, सिटीजन्स हैं, वो अपने शहरों के, अपने गाँव के, अपने इलाकों की लाइट पोल्यूशन लेवल्स की मेजरमेंट लेते हैं ख़ुद से ऑन ग्राउंड। वो देखते हैं कि उनकी इलाके में कितनी डार्क स्काइज़ हैं और कितनी पोल्यूशन है, और वो इस डाटा को सबमिट करते हैं इंटरनेशनल डार्क स्काई एसोसिएशन के डेटाबेस में, जिससे वो एक पूरा ग्लोब कंस्ट्रक्ट कर रहे हैं, जिसमें आपको एग्जैक्टली पता चलेगा कि कौन सी जगह पे लाइट पोल्यूशन कितनी है, कौन सी में नहीं है। तो बेसिकली लाइट पोल्यूशन हम लोग, क्योंकि आज एस्ट्रोनॉमी और आर्ट के कॉन्टेक्स्ट से देख रहे हैं, तो लाइट पोल्यूशन का डायरेक्ट इफ़ेक्ट एस्ट्रोनॉमी पे इस तरह से है कि जहाँ पे लाइट पोल्यूशन बहुत ज़्यादा होगी वहाँ पे आपको सितारे नहीं नज़र आएंगे, क्योंकि वो जैसे दिन के टाइम पे आपको सिर्फ सूरज नज़र आता है क्योंकि वो इतना रोशन होता है, इसी तरह अगर आप रात में भी रोशनियाँ इतनी और लगा लेंगे तो आपको बाकी सितारे नहीं नज़र आएंगे। इसका बहुत ज़्यादा इफ़ेक्ट होता है हमारी मेंटल हेल्थ पे, और दैट इज़ हाउ इस टॉपिक को रयान हीलिंग के साथ भी लिंक करने वाले हैं। तो आई विल पास इट बैक टू रयान के व्हाट डज यू वांट टू टेल अस अबाउट इट।
Yes, बिल्कुल. Thank you so much for explaining more about Dark Sky Week. जैसा कि मैंने डार्क स्काई पाकिस्तान चैप्टर का भी जिक्र किया कि पाकिस्तान डार्क स्काई चैप्टर जो है अभी इसको इवॉल्व होने की ज़रूरत है, इसमें और ज़्यादा काम करने की ज़रूरत है, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान के अंदर अभी जो है एज सच कोई एक्टिविटीज़ मौजूद नहीं है, जैसा कि मेरी थोड़ा सा ज़बान में मुश्किल ये आ रही है कि मैं इंग्लिश में बात करूँ, उर्दू में बात करूँ, ये मैं फ्रेंच सीख रहा हूँ उसमें बात करूँ कभी कभार, अभी थोड़ा सा मुझे मुश्किल हो रही है,
इट्स
but
ओके,
I will try.
आप दोनों में बात कर
I
लें,
hope
कैन
it's going to be
स्विच।
fine. Anyhow, so डार्क स्काई पाकिस्तान चैप्टर जैसे कि फ्रांस के अंदर बहुत सारी एक्टिविटीज़ हैं, बहुत सारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं जो डार्क स्काई के ऊपर बेस्ड हैं, जो कि ख़ास तौर पे लाइट पोल्यूशन के ऊपर काम कर रही हैं, और इसके अलावा डार्क स्काई पार्क्स, नेशनल पार्क्स.
रयान, sorry to
और
interrupt, you can shift to English if
Okay,
that's
sure,
easier.
sure. Okay, perfect. So I wanted to mention about Dark Sky Pakistan chapter. Dark Sky Pakistan chapter itself is under developing stage, and other than this, in France specifically, when I'm talking about, there are so many organizations, like they are specifically working on protecting the night sky. Even here are the villages and the cities are named as City of Stars, or a Village of Stars, जिसको इन्होंने यहाँ पे जो है डिफरेंट डिफरेंट किस्म के नाम दिए हैं ताकि इन चीज़ों को हाईलाइट करें कि किस तरह से जो है रात के वक्त जो है अगर हम लाइट बुझा देते हैं तो कितना ज़्यादा एनवायरनमेंट के अंदर पॉजिटिव चेंज आता है. There are so many cities and villages actually turn off their lights at night after 11 and 6 in the morning, and there's a signboard also mentioned on every cities that this is a city of stars and city or the village of stars, and giving them different names. These kind of projects are actually helping dark sky community in France, and whereas I compare this kind of activities which are much more easier and simpler to do in Pakistan, whereas just highlighting the importance and what are the effects of light pollution is happening around Pakistan in general, like how much energy wastage we do every night just by turning on lights. Other than this, the environmental impacts that happens because of the light pollution, it is enormous. I would say we need to have dark sky parks, places, in Pakistan, and related to Dark Sky International itself, जो Dark Sky Week सेलिब्रेट किया जाता है, इसके अंदर जो जैनब ने बात की प्लेज की, तो पाकिस्तान से और जो लोकल म्यूनिसिपैलिटी से हम लोग जो प्लेज साइन करते हैं, इस तरह की कोई भी एज सच ऑफिशियल बॉडी ने इसको एग्रीमेंट साइन नहीं किया या इसको सेलिब्रेट नहीं किया अभी तक, जबकि इसके ऊपर काफी सारे काम करने की जरूरत है और काम किया जा सकता है। मैं आपको कुछ इस तरह की वीडियोस दिखाऊंगा एक, जिसमें आप लोग का मैं अपना एक पर्सनल रिस्पॉन्स मालूम करना चाहूंगा कि व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट this kind of a video that you see, the recent advertisement. Okay, so this is the one of the most recent advertisement that has been launched by Audi UK. They're talking about all electric Audi, but whereas at the same time they want to show the lights with the mods. What do you think about this? Do you find something interesting? Do you felt love at first light?
आप में से कोई इसके बारे में कुछ कमेंट देना चाहेगा?
What do you think about it, Zainab, itself?
I'd just like to say moths are attracted to light, and if you have too many lights, that's definitely going to disturb their environment. Moths might like light, but a lot of other people don't like it that much at night.
Yes. Actually, there are. Yes. Zainab, you want to say something?
Yeah, I personally found it very dystopian कि किस तरह एक नेचुरल मौत पहले आती है, वो लाइट से घबरा के चली जाती है, और फिर हम एक फेक मौत बना रहे हैं जो कि उस गाड़ी का सिग्नेचर है। आई थिंक ये बहुत एक मतलब इट्स वेरी सैड टू सी कि हम नेचर को वी नॉट प्रोटेक्टिंग इट, एक कुदरती चीज़ है, हम उसको भगा रहे हैं और उसी को फिर रेप्लिकेट करने के लिए उसकी खूबसूरती को हम एक फॉल्स चीज़ बना रहे हैं। मतलब टेक्नोलॉजी इज़ नॉट बैड ऑफ कोर्स, लेकिन इन दिस कॉन्टेक्स्ट कि आप अपनी गाड़ी का सिग्नेचर बनाने के लिए यू आर एक्चुअली एक्टिवली हार्मिंग नेचर। आई फाउंड इट वेरी सैड टू सी।
Exactly, yes. मेरा भी कुछ ऐसे ही रिस्पॉन्स है कि this advertisement has been highlighted by Dark Sky International as well, that what kind of a world that we are living in, that we are calling it love at first light. Light actually itself make these moths blind, blindness cause करती हैं, और इसके ऊपर काफ़ी सारी रिसर्च भी मौजूद है कि बहुत सारी जो moths हैं, like there are different numbers of species that are available get disturbed, and they are getting to extinction, I would say, to a certain point that we are not even caring about the nature itself around that we live in, and at the same time we are calling it all electric, which is making it so called I would say sustainable way of living. Do you think we are making it smarter or nicer? And there's so many other perspective that goes beyond कि हम लोग अपने नज़रियात को इस तरह से दिखाने की कोशिश कर रहे होते हैं कभी कभार कि जो आर्टिफिशियल चीज़ है वो भी खूबसूरत दिखाने की कोशिश की जा रही है। इसी तरह से there is another advertisement. Okay, so Did anyone get a chance to understand what it is all about? There was a big light bulb revolving around the earth.
हाँ, ये वही मतलब वो जो एक टेक्नोलॉजी बना रहे हैं कि वो जो सोलर पैनल नीचे रखेंगे और रात में भी वो शाइन करेगा, ऊपर सैटेलाइट छोड़ेंगे और उससे मिरर रखेंगे जो सनलाइट को रिफ्लेक्ट करके नीचे लाइट देगा.
Exactly. This is actually the Reflect Orbital company which has proposed their idea, the vision behind it to have an artificial sun at night, to have on-demand sunlight where you need it. So this is another level of I would say advancement of humanity, whereas dystopian itself that we may find it attractive somehow we find it, oh, we are using solar power or solar energy to have sunlight at night, but whereas the whole ecosystem depends on the basis, the natural ecosystem, I would say, that depends on the sun day light and the night time itself, जो सूरज चांद सितारों की गर्दिश है उसके ऊपर ही बेस करता है ये आर्टिफिशियल. इतनी सारी चीजें हमारे सामने आ चुकी हैं कि आज जो है हम लोग एक टेक्नोलॉजी बेस्ड uh, just like right now we all are connected with this smartphones, and right now we are having a conversation itself with the light based technology that we are using, and to have this video conference happening at the moment itself has some sort of an impact on our daily activities, good or bad. Both comes together, I would say, but we are forgetting about the natural darkness that existed for thousands of years. हमारी जो जिंदगी का एक रहने का तरीका था वो सब बदल चुका है, और जिस तरह से हम आगे चीजें जा रही हैं उसमें डार्कनेस जो एक डिफाइन की जाती है वो इस वो चेंज हो चुका है, इसका मकसद ही चेंज हो चुका है. Whereas we consider this as a fear, whereas darkness used to be it's normal, it's there is natural darkness that existed, and in the darkness you see the stars, and where we cannot see stars anymore. And that's what dark sky itself talks about all the time, that how important it is to have the natural darkness, and how important it is for natural darkness to exist for the whole ecosystem, for the humanity, for the nature, and all the people around. I'm going to move forward to the current rapid change, what is happening around, and how the environmental changes happening and catastrophic actions are happening around the world. Like 400% जो हमारा climate है वो rapidly change हो रहा है. उसकी जो एक extreme weather events जो surge कर रहे हैं वो 400%. It's a big number that every time we have a big catastrophic action is happening, and the global warming is one of the important thing to talk about. In 2024 was considered as the warmest year since recorded in 1850, and also the species itself, 1 million species are at risk of extinction. It's a UN report. These are some environmental changes that has been impacting us. Whereas the social changes, when we talk about the social changes, the way we live in, the urbanization is going to grow 80% by 2050, and the wealth itself is defined by the only 10th person of the richest in the world, and internet user is going to surpass, it has been already passes by 6 million right now. All these kind of dystopian things, that social changes causes some sort of emotional impacts. Like, for example, the current generation that we live in, there is a report talks about that the eco anxiety that existed in the current young generation is 68% of people don't have ecosystem. The word जो मैंने यूज किया उसका मतलब ये कि जो हमारे environmental crisis हैं उसकी वजह से होने की वजह से जो हमारी geopolitical movement है और इन सारी चीज़ों की वजह से जो एक एंजाइटी सी होती है हमें कि आने वाला फ्यूचर क्या होगा, ये इको एंजाइटी कहलाती है कि it connects to the geopolitics, it connects to your the climate itself, the environment, and the current scenarios, that how is going to be it's going to be our future. It causes actually the loneliness, the fear, the burnout, the fatigue, and the uncertainty in the environment. That how all these uh, are impacting you. In short, it's quite a lot for the young generation. We move forward and talks about how and why I mentioned about today's topic only about the healing itself, why it is so important, why it's becoming more and more important to bring your attention to yourself, to talk about the mindfulness, the how it is important for you all, that the community support, the sustainable actions that I'm not talking about those sustainable actions that I mentioned, like making it all electric cars or something like this. I'm just talking about basic sustainable actions that we can do in our daily life, like recycling the garbage and creating a compost for you, where you can put all the wastage that you can do from the kitchen items, create your own compost, something like this. I'm talking about the basic mindfulness, that how it is important for you, for us in our daily life at this point, and where what we think about us, ourselves in the cosmos, how you consider yourself, how important it is. I hope my presentation is visible to everybody at the moment, because I cannot see. Okay, perfect.
Yes, you can see the
Okay,
presentation.
yeah. So maybe we can do a small exercise. And at this time, maybe we close our eyes and bring our attention where you are. And imagine yourself, just close your eyes, and wherever you're sitting or standing, and just bring the attention and think about the force that we are exerting on the ground. The gravity that you feels the body, and slowly, maybe you're in a building and feel the building, and slowly bring this attention to the ground. Attention on your breathing, how you breathe, and slowly move down to the earth. How deeper you think, because this gravity is so powerful that we are completely depending on this. Our body is completely touching this to the earth. Our body is completely grounded. And this earth is so huge, the gravitational force is so big that maybe we may feel it on our body. And this earth is spinning and rotating and orbiting around this and our solar system. And the other planets that you feel, that how, where you feel you are at the moment in the cosmos, in this Milky Way galaxy, and this cosmos itself, that how small we are, and how we think what we are. Sometimes we just forget. You may open your eyes and think about it, and sometimes we don't focus on our breathing, our daily activities, and our presence in this cosmos itself. There are so many books that are related to astronomy and stargazing, and people who are working on the idea of how important in our daily life or astronomy itself plays an important role for the mental healing in the current scenarios, in the current situation, what's happening around the world, and how important it is for us to just bring the attention to heal yourself first, I would say, because and for that I would like to recommend some books by Mark. He's also one of the dark sky advocate, and he wrote some books I would like to recommend to all of you to go through, to read these books. He is an astronomer and also yogi, and he talks much more detail. He's one of the expert on the subject itself, that he talks about how important mindfulness is, and your presence of uh, your journey through inner and outer cosmos itself. I'm gonna move forward and talk about a different topic, because as I mentioned in the beginning, I'll be covering about astronomy, art, and healing. So we first covered about healing itself. I will talk about some educational projects related to art and astronomy that I'm working on, and how it is connected to the dark sky later on. So, as I've mentioned in the beginning, I'm part of IAAA. It's an international astronomical artist association, and they're working mainly on the subject of how you can teach or uh, science through art. There are different members around the world. They are actually having a double background, like they're artists and astronomer, researcher, or engineers as well. Some of them are aerospace engineer, and they're creating some artwork. And the member of this community also have an astronaut. She is also part of this, and we created uh, a project working on how you can teach science through art, which is IACI project. And what we are talking about is what the way we used to teach science and art in two different domains. We are kind of merging it together and making it more interdisciplinary as a project. Why it is important? Because uh, um, it helps students to understand uh, problem solving within space science through art, and actually itself has a flexible thinking. I'm going to give you some example over here. These are two examples where you see in these two pictures, what do you think what they talk about? Light in one of the picture is as a source, and light in the other picture is reflecting.
Does anyone have any ideas about either of these pictures that you would like to share?
Yes, these are two artwork of IEEE members, and we use this as a resource for to talk about science behind these pictures. What is the science behind these pictures? What do you think?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So one is the natural light, the sun, so it's reflecting from the moon, and the other is a artificial light, a resource, और ये so मतलब कि एक जो है ज़्यादा वो उस तरह नहीं है कि मतलब पोल्यूशन फैला रही है या आपको स्टार्स वगैरह नज़र नहीं आ रहे, उससे इतना नहीं है, वो दूसरी वगैरह से आपको फिर थोड़े आ रहे हैं.
Yes. Very good answer. In these two pictures, one light as a source. जब हम कोई पेंटिंग बनाते हैं, तो उसमें जब देखा जाए कि light itself as a source, there are different stars that emits a natural source of light at night. A dark sky picture अगर हम बनाएं तो कुछ इस तरह की होगी जो आपके राइट साइड लेफ्ट साइड पे मौजूद है, और जो राइट साइड पे एक रिफ्लेक्टिव इमेज दिखाया जा रहा है, उसमें यही है कि एक एस्ट्रोनॉट जो है वो मून सरफेस के ऊपर मौजूद है, और उसका शेडो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं. The shadow actually is talking about the reflection of light, that how light reflects, and moon is not a source of light. Moon creates reflection through sunlight. So idea behind creating these kind of resource for the educational purpose is not just about uh, making artwork, but also talking about the science behind these objects. A dark sky, when we talk about dark sky, a natural source of light, the picture on the other side, it's also another example. The natural source of light comes from the stars. And in this, you may see an artificial light, जो एक यहाँ पे एक आदमी खड़ा है, वो आर्टिफिशियल सोर्स के साथ भी मौजूद है. और जैसे कि बात की कि हमें रोशनी में दिखाई नहीं देते स्टार्स और ये सारी चीजें. So the point is, when you talk about astronomy itself, जैसा कि मैंने इस ग्रुप की बात की पहले, कि the group of astronomer does not require a lot of telescopes or bigger objects or something like this to show or talk about astronomy itself. We just need to have some sort of interest or the passion and a little bit of understanding that how you want to create these artwork that you can work on.
I'd like to
I
add.
have another example to talk about how important it is to teach scientific phenomena through an artwork. Here is another example, that the map of USA and the size of Earth, and in the background you can see the Saturn rings, also talks about the scalability, or the scale that also define the how big the Saturn rings are and how big is the Earth as comparison to the Saturn rings. And here are some, what I say, another example of reversal change to the known position. You may see a picture of one, there's an eye, and you see the reflection here. What do you think about this artwork? What do you think where you are at the moment?
The moon, probably. It looks like a picture of Earthrise or something.
Yeah,
Maybe it's the eye of an
yeah,
astronaut.
exactly. Yes, exactly. So the idea behind is just for the students to talk about something uh, which creates some understanding, like how it is going to be if you are on the surface of the moon. There are different examples I may go through, which talks also about if you consider all the atmospheric conditions of moon of one of the moon of Saturn, and considering those atmospheric conditions, how the surface may look like and how the gravity is going to impact. These kind of activities that we are working on, creating these resources for the educators, for the students, and that you can teach in the classroom, and talk about the science behind the artwork. I may go forward, and I'm going to talk about my own personal practices about dark sky activities, the way I started working on, and how it evolved further. I started wearing costumes in public spaces, talking about light pollution, and mainly focus on how light pollution has impacted our environment. Later on, we started working on a different idea. Back in 2020, I worked with an artist and we created a performance on how light pollution impact the environment. Whereas I feel myself, light pollution is not a subject for for somebody who's just an expert or astronomer, but you can engage with anybody around you and talk about the subject itself. You can engage with it because it is one of the problem that we are trying to highlight in Dark Sky Week, that dark sky is not just for the astronomer, but it is for everybody. Even it is connected to zoologists, environmentalists, even from the psychologists and the people who are working in the non-STEM professionals as well. They can come together and create some work on the subject of dark sky. So as I mentioned, in 2022, I worked with an artist and we created a performance on how light pollution impact the environment through an art performance, translating their physiological impact in the public spaces, how moths, fireflies, and zooplanktons get impacted by the lights around us. So this project was presented in Karachi, where we highlighted the different species that has been impacted through an art performance in 2022, like moths, as I mentioned, firefly, zooplanktons. Moths का जैसे जिक्र किया कि moths जो हैं वो they get attracted toward light. Bats get disturbed by the artificial lights at night, and they get disturbed. Fireflies जो हैं, they have 80 different patterns of communicating with their blinks. अगर बहुत ज़्यादा किसी ने अब जुगनू की कहानियाँ होती थी, और अब जुगनू जो है फायरफ्लाइज की कहानियाँ भी मौजूद नहीं किताबों के अंदर. फायरफ्लाइज जो है एक एक्सटेंशन की तरफ जा रहे हैं, और they actually communicate through their blinking of lights. So we created a performance based on the research that we worked on. We created costumes, developed a concept behind it, collected data, and we used even Arduino motors, creating these costumes and modules that became a wearable art pieces. We even used 3D printing modeling to create some of the artwork. And here are some different pieces that you can see in this performance. And the other part was also the choreography behind it. The choreography was done by the one of the choreographer, known choreographer Wahab Shah. He did this choreography for our project. Here you can see we are doing some test and trial for this project, where we are using LDR sensors and which detect the light around the environment and create these movements on the objects. Later on, this performance was done in Karachi, as I mentioned. There were so many artists from all over the world, 26 projects, and we received the performance award. And also at the same time, I received International Dark Sky Award for the work that I was doing in Pakistan. Right now, I really need to emphasize and work on dark sky activities for the Dark Sky Pakistan chapter. All these were the costumes that we created for this performance. I moved around different topics, as I mentioned in the beginning, that how art, astronomy, healing connects each other. and how important it is for us to not just, when we talk about astronomy itself, sometimes we get just an idea of it's going to be just for the astronomer, and we limit our audience itself. Whereas if we uh, do not define our limitations and have a different collaborative work with different domains, it opens the horizon and bring more audience and more people on board on the same subject of even dark sky or astronomy or even mental health when you talk about the healing. I'm going to stop here, and I would like to have some questions from the audience, and Zainab, if you are.
All right, thank you so much, Rayan. It was a very enlightening presentation. Specifically, how you discussed the artistic aspect of, of approaching science. I feel like there are 2 or 3 organizations in Pakistan that are doing this job very well. 2 of them happen to be here. One of them is Cosmic Tribe. Of course, you guys are doing a great job. This is kind of a self compliment as well, because I also work with Cosmic Tribe. And then, of course, the black hole. As you can see in this auditorium, we are surrounded by beautiful art pieces, which I think you can also purchase if you wanted to. But frequently, जो लोग यहाँ पे अक्सर आते हैं, they might know about the various sessions that are taking place here, always political, scientific, artistic, and cultural. So I feel like this is the intersection that you mentioned for science and art is very important. I also have something to add on the art pieces you showed. If you could go back to the slide with the reflective source and the natural source.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to share my presentation back again. I can go back here. Okay, here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I might be looking too much into this, but these two basically paintings really caught my attention. Specifically, if you see in the source painting, this one, where all of the light is natural light, stars se aa rahi hai, and the choti si jo artificial light hai in that person's hand, it's probably like a lantern or something, based judging on the orange glow. तो वो भी not exactly natural, but it's different from artificial lighting. So if you see in that picture, it's very harmonic in a sense, like it's very balanced, and you can see how everything is in harmony. Whereas in the second picture, the reflection one, जैसे painting में, when you're making a painting, perspective and lighting is very important. If anyone here is an artist, they would know that कि आप कभी भी कुछ draw कर रहे हो तो you have to define in your head कि आपकी picture के ऊपर light कहाँ से fall करेगी और कहाँ से reflect करेगी. You have to define a light source. So इस painting में the light source is clear. एक तो background की lighting है from the stars और एक उस बंदे के हाथ में lantern. लेकिन in the second picture, the light source is it's kind of insinuated कि the light source is the person that is taking the picture या जो paint कर रहा है, क्योंकि बहुत ब्राइट सी लाइट है जो कि एस्ट्रोनॉट पे आ रही है. यू कुड आर्ग्यू कि थोड़ी सी इस साइड से लाइट आ रही है बिकॉज शैडो फॉल्स ऑन दैट साइड, लेकिन ऑन द होल इट सीम्स वेरी इंट्रूसिव कि ये एक लाइट है जिसकी वजह से बाकी सब कुछ वॉश आउट हो रहा है. आप उसको फोर्स कर रहे हो सीन के ऊपर, वो उसके अंदर से, इट्स नॉट ओरिजिनेटिंग फ्रॉम द सीन. So I found that very profound in a way. Like if
Yeah.
someone really went through these, they have so much to tell.
Yes, I would like to add one more point here. When you notice in this lantern, as you mentioned, that warm light, if you when we talk about the light pollution, and when we talk about what kind of light is good for the environment, it's actually considered as the warm light. Below 3000 Kelvin, अगर स्कूल में की जो readings में देखा जाए, so the warm light is good for the environment, and the rich blue white light is not suitable for the environment generally. So अगर आपके घरों के अंदर, especially in your living room, bedroom, there you can use warm light that's more suitable for your health, environment, for yourself as well, for your circadian rhythm. And whereas you must have noticed in the hospital they use white light, and even in the offices you should use white bright lights, which wakes you up. दैट्स अनदर थिंग कि हम वाइट लाइट कहाँ पे यूज कर सकते हैं. लेकिन इसका जो है जो रिच ब्लू वाइट लाइट है, उसका जो एक नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट है वो ये है कि आपका जो मेलाटोनिन लेवल है वो काफी कम हो जाता है अगर आपने अपने घर के अंदर ऐसी जगह पे लगाया हुआ है वाइट बल्ब. तो दैट also impact your health itself. So as you were mentioning about the light as a lantern, I can see the glow itself is very warmish in color, and that's also harmonized with the dark sky in this picture.
Yes. By the way, note for the audience, किसी भी time पे if you guys have a question, feel free to ask. This is an open discussion now. किसी
Yeah.
का कोई question है भी? If not, then मेरे बहुत से questions हैं Rayan. Please don't be annoyed. I will bother you a lot. Um, so you mentioned about the circadian rhythm, or you mentioned the better lighting to use to preserve the circadian rhythm. इसके ऊपर भी मैं थोड़ा सा expand करना चाहूँगी. Rayan mentioned melatonin. Melatonin is basically the sleep hormone. आपको जब रात को नींद आती है वो इसलिए आती है क्योंकि आपका brain melatonin release कर रहा होता है. और melatonin की एक ये खसूसियत है कि वो उसकी प्रोडक्शन बढ़ती तब है जब आपके इर्द गिर्द अंधेरा बढ़ता है. इसी वजह से आपको अंधेरे में ज़्यादा अच्छी नींद आएगी, और जैसे जैसे शाम होने लगती है तो कुदरती तौर पे ज़्यादातर चीज़ों को, सिवाय जो नॉक्टर्नल एनिमल्स होते हैं उनके अलावा, ज़्यादातर लोगों को और जानवरों को नींद आने लग जाती है. तो जो ये हम लोग सेल फोन्स वगैरह यूज़ करते हैं, विच आर नोटोरियस फॉर एमिटिंग ब्लू लाइट, इनका असल में सबसे बड़ा इम्पैक्ट यही होता है कि हमारी सर्केडियन रिदम बिल्कुल तबाह हो जाती है. हमें जिस टाइम पे नींद आनी चाहिए उस टाइम पे नींद आती नहीं है. एंड देन नाउ विद द एडवेंट ऑफ सोशल मीडिया इट गेट्स वर्स एंड वर्स, और लोग पूरी पूरी रात जागे रहते हैं और फिर सुबह डिप्रेशन का शिकार होते हैं हम. Rayan mentioned a solution for this, which is to use warmer yellow lights. This is a practical solution for the actual logistic problem. Lekin I wanted to ask, what kind of artistic practices are best to help people reconnect with the wonder and the mystery of the cosmos? मतलब lighting तो हम fix कर लेंगे, लेकिन do you think there is a mindset change also required for this?
I think what we are missing at the moment, generally, we did one activity with one of my friend who is actually music therapist, and we had done a session on music of silence. What we are missing right now is just silence. How you feel, you close your eyes and imagine yourself, that what you feel around yourself, what kind of sound that you can hear other than your breathing, and that actually helps that what kind of environment that you are living in. For example, just to give you an idea, like if it's an online workshop or webinar, a person who is sitting in an area of Karachi in Sadr, whereas somebody who is living in a remote village, having a different music of silence, that I'm talking about music of silence, कि अपनी आंखें बंद करें और अपने सराउंडिंग में जो साउंड मौजूद है उसको एक इमेजिन करें कि क्या कितना पोल्यूशन है अपनी सराउंडिंग के अंदर, कितना डिस्ट्रैक्शन मौजूद है. Just by closing your eyes, when you imagine yourself, that how distracted we are in our daily life, in our daily activities, how urbanization and this modernization has changed us and making us uh, I would say more confined or uncertain about the future, or having a lot of anxiousness for the future, that how it's going to be in the future, these kind of thing. And the artistic practices, the one that I was trying to mention, that in is through astronomy, just bringing your attention and understand that where do you present in the cosmos, how you feel, how important it is that in the current scenarios, in the current environmental situation, in the current geopolitical situation, how you feel about yourself, your presence on this planet Earth, that also matters a lot. And the artistic practices doesn't matter. Even if you are, for example, it's not always require you to be an artist. Everybody is an artist or artist itself. in a way of how do you live your life is an art. Like how you create your surrounding is an art. Like, for example, what you eat. Maybe you are cooking something, focus on that, and create some, do some experiments. Uh, if you're artist or writer, you like to write books. I would say art जो है हम लोगों ने बहुत उसको confine किया हुआ है. I think even a scientist is an artist. Has some certain sort of artistic practices within them. How you create, for example, as a uh, as an engineer, how efficient you are working, how effective it is. That is also an art, and the way of living, in short, is an artwork. Like how focused you are in your activities specifically. That makes me feel like uh, that's the best practice that you can do to improve or to have the better artistic practices.
Thank you for elaborating on that. I feel like that is a very important distinction to make. Okay, art is not just picking up a paintbrush and painting something. Because not all of us have the skill or the time, frankly, to be doing that. Lekin art is just the act of living. If you're living it in a mindful way, if you're thinking about your actions and आप सोच समझ के अपनी choices बना रहे हैं, that is also an art. Um, you mentioned that lighting, you mentioned the sound of silence that is different for someone in a city as opposed to someone in a village. So that got me thinking about how urbanization and cities are rapidly changing everything about our lives. In this situation, how do you make the case that darkness is not a luxury issue, but something that is connected to health, ecology, energy, and culture? And also, what kind of support or policies do you think would bring the best positive change for light pollution advocacy in Pakistan?
For dark sky advocacy in Pakistan, first, I would say, in terms of policy, we need to have more advocates. And to have more advocates, sometimes we need to resonate with the similar ideas and ideology with the people around you. अगर मैं ये बात कर रहा हूँ कि लाइट पोल्यूशन जो है वो हमारी लाइफ को इम्पैक्ट करती है, और हमारी जो ऑडियंस है वो इससे एग्री नहीं करती, क्योंकि वो as I consider myself, everybody right now who are born these days are born under the artificial light. In the hospital, rich blue white light जैसी पहली आंख खुलती है. तो हम कैसे इसको सोच सकते हैं कि आर्टिफिशियल लाइट जो है हमारे बॉडी के ऊपर कुछ असर भी कर रही है. जब हमने अपनी पहली आंख खोली और सबसे पहले क्या चीज देखी वो एक आर्टिफिशियल लाइट थी. So how you connect or resonate with this idea itself that artificial light has a negative impact on your daily life. So for that reason, that's why I always mention that to work on the policy making, first you need to have a right amount of advocates who can support the idea to have such to work on the policy making further. That's another stage of working. First, we need to have right amount of advocates who is willing to be on the same table, same page, and create some sort of methodology, create some activities that you can reach out to right stakeholders and talk about it. As I started in the beginning working on dark sky parks in Pakistan, I faced a lot of challenges. इस्लामाबाद के अंदर मैंने इस चीज़ के ऊपर काम करने की कोशिश की, और ख़ास तौर पे मार्गला हिल्स, and I reached out to the people when we were highlighting. Unfortunately, Dark Sky Park is still impossible because the policymakers are not resonating with the same idea. This is how I feel. That's why I wanted to highlight that you need to bring right amount of advocates, and advocates bring the voice to the right stakeholders. I think somebody wants to ask a question.
Yes, we
from
do
the
have a
audience.
question
Yes.
from the audience. Rayan, can you hear him?
No.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, we were talking about advocacy, and I guess the point of that is to get policymakers on our side. Assuming in the future, maybe 10, 20 years from now, we get to a stage where the policymakers are on our side. They want to have dark skies, but we can't really go without streetlights, and we can't really go without headlights on cars and all those things that are actually needed. Assuming that the policymakers are completely on our side, what exactly can we actually practically do while keeping a city safe to get dark skies in cities?
That's a very good question. Uh, Dark sky, um when you talk about dark sky for the urbanization and urban cities, there are some dark sky urban parks that are available for the public. हम जहाँ पे street lights की बात करते हैं, there are some certain street light designs that are specifically designed by in accordance to the international dark sky practices कि उनकी किस तरह की रेट्रोफिटिंग होनी चाहिए, किस तरह की उनकी लाइटिंग डिजाइन होनी चाहिए. इसका सारा जो एक तरह का मैनुअल जो मास्टर मैनुअल मौजूद है, हम उसको देखते हुए इस तरह की पॉलिसीज को इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं, जो कि पाकिस्तान में भी इम्प्लीमेंट किया जा सकता है. डार्क स्काई के ऊपर जैसा कि आपने मेंशन किया कि सिटीज स्ट्रीट लाइट्स को हम completely turn off नहीं कर सकते या headlights को, but we can actually practice those standard practices that are happening worldwide on based on international dark sky standards, I would say. So that's what we can follow up at least. For now, we don't have any regulatory bodies working on this idea itself, how you can standardize the lighting design for the street lighting, how you can standardize the use of headlights for the cars, and other home lighting even itself. हमारा जहाँ दिल चाहता है, हम even I have seen a lot of flood lighting outside the houses even, क्योंकि हम चाहते हैं कि हम इतनी प्रोटेक्शन हो हमारे घर के बाहर कि हम फ्लड लाइट बाहर लगा देते हैं और उसके आगे कैमरा भी लगा देते हैं ताकि हमारी सिक्योरिटी डबल हो जाए. तो ये जो प्रैक्टिसेस हैं, इसको चेंज, it's kind of a mindset that we have right now, the flood lighting with the camera itself, and that has to be changed. If it's not changing, there should be some sort of regulatory bodies to get involved to have certain sort of standard practices for the better urbanization, for better or the smarter cities that we are developing or working on in Pakistan.
Indeed, I think एक और aspect इसका ये है कि in Pakistan specifically we are obsessed with lighting up everything that we see. आप जाएंगे ना random किसी road पे, you will notice there will be a tree रात के time पे. उस tree में कुछ खास बात नहीं, उस तरह के 10 और दरख्त होंगे वहाँ पे, लेकिन every single tree will have a light under it जो कि directly tree की तरफ point कर रही है for no reason at all. So I don't think anything is achieved by that lighting सिवाय अगर उस ट्री में कोई गुलेरी बेचारी रहती है तो उसकी नींद ख़राब करने के अलावा और कोई मकसद नहीं है उस लाइट का. So for now, even when the policymakers are not on our side, we can take smaller steps by going around our own towns and villages and just our living areas, और हम देखें कि वहाँ पे कौन सी lights हैं जो बिल्कुल फालतू की लगी हुई हैं जिनका कोई मकसद नहीं है, and we can start by maybe taking them down. There is also another question from the audience at the back. Does anyone else have a question? Okay, आप अपना question याद करने की कोशिश कीजिए, हम आपसे end में ले लेंगे. So it's almost time for the telescope observation and stargazing. So before we end, Rayan, as a final thought, I would like to ask you that अगर आपकी आज पूरे lecture से सब audience सब भूल जाए और वो सिर्फ एक ही चीज़ याद रखें, what would you like that message to be that sticks with them after tonight?
For me, I feel important it's your mental health. the first thing in the current situation, and it comes from the understanding of your surrounding, your consciousness, the ability to understand that what's going around. Uh, that's that matters a lot. I feel when हम जितनी भी सारे lectures सुन लें, बातें सुन लें about dark sky, light pollution, if you don't feel it, the importance of darkness, we may not uh, find it important for anybody itself. I would say कि अगर हम अपने आप के लिए important नहीं समझते कि रात को जो है मोबाइल फोन नहीं यूज करें, और इस तरह की जो खास तौर पे हमारा जो लाइफस्टाइल है पाकिस्तान के अंदर, it's um, very dystopian sometimes. If I notice that we are wake up all night, हम रात को बहुत देर देर तक जागते हैं, और इतनी ज़्यादा लाइट पोल्यूशन, खास तौर पे जो कराची, इस्लामाबाद, लाहौर बड़े शहर हैं, इनमें इतनी ज़्यादा लाइट पोल्यूशन है कि आपको रात को शायद नींद भी नहीं आती प्रॉपर, इन सारी चीज़ों की, जो कि हम नोटिस भी नहीं करते हैं, क्योंकि हम इतने ज़्यादा आदी हो चुके हैं कि गहरी नींद और इस तरह के जो टॉपिक्स हैं वो इंसान जो है हम लोग डिस्कस नहीं करते, क्योंकि हमारे प्रॉब्लम्स इतने सारे हैं हमारी सराउंडिंग में, हमारी बिजली नहीं आती, गैस प्रॉब्लम्स ज़्यादा हैं, इस तरह के इश्यूज हैं कि हम लोग अपनी मेंटल हेल्थ को भूल जाते हैं. दैट्स व्हाई आई वांटेड टू हाईलाइट दैट how important it is for us at this current scenario, current situation, that to focus on your own mental health, how important it is. Then rest comes after, because when you have a better mental health, you perform better. And that's all. That's what I would like to mention. That's going to be a takeaway for this.
Certainly, the point about बिजली नहीं आती, पानी नहीं आता, तो लोग लाइट पोल्यूशन पे कैसे फोकस करें, something so important.
Exactly.
I remember I think it was 2021 or maybe 22, I went to DC Islamabad to talk about light pollution, और मैंने उनको कोई 25 मिनट मैंने उनको अपने brochures दिखाए और मैंने उनको presentation दिखाई, and I explained everything to him, and I was basically so sure कि ये मान जाएंगे और बस कल से इस्लामाबाद में ना 8 बजे के बाद लाइटें ऑफ हो जाया करेंगी. एंड देन ही गोज़, बेटा आपको पता है हमारे यहाँ तो लाइट आती नहीं है और आप कह रहे हैं लाइट चली जाए. सो आई फील लाइक दैट इज़ सो इम्पोर्टेंट. हम लोग को वी हैव सो मेनी अदर प्रॉब्लम्स टू फोकस ऑन कि अक्सर
Exactly.
these things get overlooked. So what we can do is focus on our mental health. Thank you so much, Rayan, for your very profound session. Oh, yeah, please. Last question.
Yes.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम रेहान, इट वाज अ वेरी नाइस टॉक. मेरा सवाल आपसे ये है कि 5 साल से ऑलमोस्ट आप कर रहे हैं काम, ऑलमोस्ट 5 to 6 years you have been working for the इंटरनेशनल डार्क स्काई फेडरेशन. तो व्हाट डू यू थिंक पाकिस्तान में ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम 5 years में कुछ चेंज नजर आया आपको? लाइक इज देयर प्रोग्रेस? वी जस्ट टॉकिंग ऑन दिस फोरम्स, प्रैक्टिकली कुछ हुआ है?
Practically, I feel there is a good change that only happens. There is a little bit of interest that I can see in astronomy generally in Pakistan. That's what I feel. लोगों ने थोड़ा सा इसके ऊपर अटेंशन देने की कोशिश की है. जैसा कि मैंने अपने प्रोजेक्ट को मेंशन किया कि कराची बना ले, इट वाज काइंड ऑफ इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी प्रोजेक्ट जो कि टेलीविजन मीडिया ने हाईलाइट किया, डिफरेंट चैनल्स ने उसको कवर किया. बार बार मेरा जो मकसद ये होता था कि मैंने एस्ट्रोनॉमी को हाईलाइट कर रहा होता था कि डार्क स्काई जो है, इट्स कनेक्टेड टू एस्ट्रोनॉमी, इट्स अबाउट डार्क स्काई, हाउ इम्पोर्टेंट इट इज. Definitely it has a little bit of impact, but at the same time we need to have some sort of a policy makers to come on board and talk about it. Even though in the beginning a lot of people shared their interest, the stakeholders specifically, to monetize this idea by using astrotourism or dark sky tourism in Pakistan, but still there are some organizations. There's one organization that I know in Hunza that is working on dark sky tourism, but due to the current scenario situation, their reservation has been cancelled because of the geopolitical issues. So I think we faced each and other time a different sort of problem that has impacted the idea itself. When I reach out to Magla Hills for having dark sky park in Magla Hills, they also mentioned that the encroachment process and all these things. We still have a plan to do work on this idea. We know about dark sky. They literally talked about it in this way, and I was happy and glad to know this. But at the same time, uh, there's still a lot of other X factors, XYZ things happens around us that actually change the whole scenarios. I feel like we are not fully focused, of course, but I feel that slowly and gradually, uh, I have to remain consistent. We have to remain consistent, and हम ये बात अगर बार बार ये highlight होती रहेगी, the echo itself, the echo of this noise, the voice, this message is going to propel and share it to the right people that can create some sort of actions or policy making in Pakistan. That's what I think.
All right, thank you. Can we have some? Okay, we will take your question after the stargazing, if that's okay. That's okay. Okay, it's fine.
Can you explain me the term dark sky tourism?
That's dark sky tourism. जैसा कि मैंने बात की हुंजा के अंदर, और ऐसे बहुत सारे इलाके हैं, रिमोट एरियाज हैं पाकिस्तान के अंदर. इसके ऊपर जो actually in 2023 or 24 I had a session at Black Hole. I only talked about dark sky tourism in Pakistan, the importance itself. You may check out Black Hole's YouTube channel. You may find the whole session based on this topic, I would say. And when I'm talking about dark sky tourism, इसका मैं एक छोटा सा आंसर ये दूंगा कि पाकिस्तान के अंदर ऐसे बहुत सारे एरियाज हैं जहाँ पे बिल्कुल भी लाइट पोल्यूशन नहीं है, जहाँ पे आप आसमान सॉरी जो आपका स्काई है is clear without any sort of obstruction, without any sort of artificial lights. You can see stars very clearly. And on basis of that, a lot of astronomers, and generally, अगर आप astronomer भी नहीं है, तो ऐसी activities वहाँ पे लोगों के साथ की जा सकती हैं कि आप वहाँ पे जाके camping करें और stargazing के events करें. That sort of activities existed. If you Google more about dark sky tourism, you may find more resources that are working on this subject itself. And in Pakistan, it's very highly likely possible that we can have a lot of dark sky tourism activities all around the regions. Even in Balochistan, when you talk about, it's very dark sky region. Even in Gilgit-Baltistan, there's a lot of dark sky places. Even in interior Punjab, interior Sindh, बहुत सारे जगह हैं जहाँ पे बिल्कुल भी लाइट पोल्यूशन नहीं है, और वहाँ पे ऐसे रीजनल कैंप्स बनाए जा सकते हैं, ऐसी एक्टिविटीज की जा सकती हैं जिसके थ्रू जो है हम डार्क स्काई को प्रमोट करें पाकिस्तान के अंदर. और इससे सिर्फ प्रमोशन नहीं होगा, बल्कि एक इकोनॉमिकल बूस्ट मिलेगा उस रीजन को जहाँ पे हम इस तरह की एक्टिविटीज करेंगे, इस तरह की डेवलपमेंट करेंगे. तो वहाँ की जो लोकल्स हैं उनको कुछ मॉनेटरी बेनिफिट्स मिल सकता है. वहाँ पे जो आवाम वहाँ पे रहती है उनको कुछ इस तरह के फ़वाइद हासिल हो सकते हैं जिसके थ्रू जो है वो इकोनॉमिकल बेनिफिट्स हासिल कर सकें. जैसे कि थ्रू व्हेन यू प्रमोट टूरिज्म, जहाँ पे ऑडियंस आएगी, डेफिनेटली यू विल हैव सम सॉर्ट ऑफ गेस्ट हाउसेस, एक्टिविटीज, स्टार्ट बिल्डिंग दोज एरियाज.
I mean, I have a suggestion कि जो स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं, जितने भी पॉलिसी मेकर्स हैं, इनको इन जगहों पे लेकर जाया जाए और उनको ये वाइब फील कराई जाए जो डार्क स्काई की होती है. That could help.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, can we have some applause for Rayan? Thank you for taking out your time to share with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
So I think that is it for the session. Now we will be moving to the stargazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rayan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.